Hey everybody, welcome. I am going to try this again. This is Karen Lanoux, and I am from the NoLimitsBusinesswoman.com. And thank you for bearing with me. I have now attempted this live twice before. Once with a big lag in time. The second time with no sound, and the second time was really good, and I had absolutely no sound. So we're gonna get going here, and I hope that you are going to be able to hear me this time. So I'm just going to show myself and say hello. So hello. Thank you again for joining me today. So I'm Karen Lanoux from the NoLimitsBusinesswoman.com, and this question came to me from somebody who is part of our Facebook group, She is our Facebook group, and the way that you can get there is by going to sheis.me, and when you do that, what I'll be able to do is I will be able to will bring you right into the group. And sorry, I'm getting distracted because I'm trying to listen in to make sure that I have sound this time. But if you are out there and you are listening in, I would love to know if you can hear me. So I'm going to go for this again. So again, this is a question that came through our Facebook group, She, and I hope you come and join us. So really, again, here's the question again that has come up, which is we have all been in these sales calls. We've been talking to a prospect, and it's a great conversation. And all of a sudden, they kind of go, "Oh, sorry, this all sounds really great. I need to ask my partner. I need to talk to my partner about this before I invest in talking to you." And I understand that. That's great. Totally understand that. But here is what happens: is that, of course, sometimes people are actually saying no, and they just don't want to say no to you. And so sometimes that's actually what they're doing. So what I would do then is go to this next thing, and I would actually explore a little further with them and find out, is this something actually that's really true? Are they saying, and I even come out and quite boldly ask them and say, look, you know what, I understand, we've talked about this. It seemed like you were really interested, that you really wanted to do this. It was going to be really important for you to resolve this challenge. But what I find sometimes is when people say that they need to talk to their partner about it, is actually what they're really saying is no. So is that what's happening? Because, quite honestly, I'd rather know than I'd rather know. So then I'm not going to be, following up with you, bothering you. You're not going to be trying to avoid me. And it kind of all gets a little, wonky, and I'd rather not do that. So really, do you really need to talk to your partner, or are you actually just really being nice and saying no, and not saying no out loud, and see what they come back with. See what happens and see what they say. You can also ask on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you? Are you, is this a 10 for you, or is it a 5? Where are we? And really, honestly, if they're not a 9 or a 10, you probably need to see if you can talk to them a little bit further. Now, so that's the number one thing. Explore a little further, go a little further, ask some pointed questions. Are they actually really just saying no without saying no? Because the further, the faster you get to that, the faster you can get onto your next sales conversation. So that's where I would do. The next thing I would suggest is if they're really, I need to talk to my partner about this, we'll say, hey, then, if your partner's home, why don't you get them on the phone, or let's do a 3-way call. We can try and figure that out. How does that sound? And again, what you're doing is you're kind of pushing them a little bit further to make sure that, they really truly do need to talk to their partner. But I would just explore that a little further and say, let's get your partner on the phone. Sometimes it's just not going to be possible, and they're going to feel really uncomfortable about that. But then it gives you the opportunity to say, okay, here's what I find with partners is that sometimes because they haven't been in on this phone call with us, they haven't, been part of kind of the buildup of what the challenges are that you're having, what the excitement is that, you're thinking about solving these problems. And so they're not getting the full picture. Do you think it'd be worthwhile having another conversation all about this all together? Or, how do you think, what do you think your partner's challenges are going to be? And see what they say. And what you can do then is you can help them problem solve that and help them come up with some different ideas on how to approach this. And again, you'll also get a sense of what their partner's challenges are. And then again, you can just give them some really good talking points. So you're helping them to problem solve this. Again, you're helping them in this whole process. So they understand, oh, you have a wide breadth of understanding this. All right, so there's that. So if you can't get the partner on the phone, then the last thing I would suggest is to bookend them. And before we go any further, I'm just going to ask, somebody's just joined us, I'm going to who I know, and I'm going to ask if she can hear me. And if she can't, then I'm gonna bail again. Anyways, but okay. So going back to bookend them as I wait for her response. Oh yes, yay! She can hear us. Yay! Awesome. So okay. So bookend them. We'll just finish up with this. So bookend them is basically what you want to do is you're just on this one phone appointment with them. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you talk to them the next 24 to 48 hours. So you're bookending them by setting up another appointment with them. And excuse me, when you do that, you're not letting them fade away. And it allows you to kind of remain in control of the process as well. So bookending them. So you have an appointment now, you're booking them for another appointment. And I would, and don't leave it up to them. Just say, okay, well, hey, how about you need to talk to your partner. Awesome. Make sure then, can you talk tomorrow, same time tomorrow? Would that work for you? Does that give you enough time? They will say yes or no, or they'll give you a different time. And if it's not tomorrow, then 2 days from now. What you want to try and avoid is that it goes for longer periods of time, because what happens is that they may avoid having that conversation with their partner. They may be waiting for just the right time. And you know what? Days can go by and the enthusiasm that they have may start to falter. So again, what I would suggest is you make sure that you get them on the phone as soon as possible. And excuse me. Again, what that does is it increases your chances of making sure that they actually enroll with you. So that's what bookending is. So just as a recap here, this is what I've talked about. I've talked about exploring a little further. So you want to make sure that after they've said, no, I need to talk to my partner, you want to go a little further and find out, is this really the truth, or is it a no without saying no? The next thing is get the partner on the phone. So see if you can get that partner on the phone. And then the last one is bookend them. Make sure that you can actually you talk to them the next 24 to 48 hours. When you can do that, the chances of you enrolling that person become much, much higher. Now, these are just a few of the things that I share with my clients. What I've been able to do over the years is to actually shorten my client sales cycle tremendously. And so people say, well, Karen, were you ever in sales? And to me, it's like, you know what? We're all in sales, and we've all been in sales since we were, little babies, because we were all, in some way, shape, or form, we're trying to kind of bring people on, into what we're doing, and enroll them into what we want, so we can get what we want. So we're always salespeople. So I also live with a salesperson. And I've studied under some of the top people who teach sales. And I've gotten all kinds of different advice. And some has worked and some has been terrible. And some has been absolutely awesome. And so what I always want to do is make sure that I share the best of the best with you. And so just before we go, Val says, what didn't think about? What I'm not sure what you're saying, Val. What didn't think about it? Oh, what about if they want to think about it? Same thing. You want to bookend them. or do this is the only part in that, if they need to think about it, is just to take out that second part where you need to talk to their partner, is to say, excuse me, explore a little further, same kind of points, and bookend them. So if they need to think about it, and some people really truly do need to think about it. Some people are not all, they're not really on the, they want to make they've had this story that they have to take time to think about their decisions. And that's usually just out of fear. And so again, you just want to explore that a little bit further. So, before we wrap up, what I want to just let you know is that if you think that you want some help with your business, whether it's in sales, or you work for somebody else in sales, or you just want help in moving up, having more impact in your world, in your business world, in your work world, if you want to have more impact, and if you want to have a greater income, I have a program that's going right now. I would love to talk to you about it, but that's not what the talk about is. I've got the nolimitsbusinesswoman.com/talk. What we want to do is find out is where you're at, get more clarity about where you're at, what you want, what is getting in your way, and this is going to be a 45-minute call that is going to be a huge eye-opener for you. And the last thing is we're going to talk about what you need to do about it to solve your issue. And part of that may be actually joining my program. I may invite you to do that. Not everybody gets in, not everybody is invited, because we're just not a match, or I may not be able to help you in the way that you want. But have the conversation with me anyways, because people have come away from the conversations with me, the 45-minute talk, and implemented, a couple of ideas, or just come away with so much more clarity that all of a sudden things start to pop for them. So wouldn't that be great if that happened for you? So please come on over to nolimitsbusinesswoman.com/talk, and let's chat. All right, until next time, go out there and be that no limits businesswoman that I know you can be. All right, take care.